Doctor who took Tesla off cliff gets support. Dharmesh Patel, the doctor who drove his Tesla Model Y off a cliff in what his defense team says was a psychotic break, got an unbelievable bit of support from a very unlikely person. His wife, who was in the car when the vehicle was sent off a California cliff. His wife, Neha Patel, testified on his behalf via Zoom earlier this week while the trial continues. She said she does not want to see her husband prosecuted for the crimes he is accused of and hopes the courts will grant him mental health leniency. "I don't want to see Dharmesh prosecuted with any of his charges," she said. "I am pleading with the court to grant him his mental health diversion." A miracle. Tesla passengers survived 250-foot plunge off cliff at Devil's Slide. Neha was not the only person in the car with Dharmesh when the car went off the cliff. Their 2 children were also in the car, which was destroyed, but managed to protect each of the passengers, as they all survived. It was a true testament to the strength of Tesla's vehicles. Nonetheless, it is somewhat shocking to see her support her husband after all 4 of the people in the car could have been killed. Regardless, Neha Patel said she misses her husband, whom she calls her best friend. "Seeing my kids in constant pain is one of the hardest things I've had to endure. Once I tuck my children into bed at night, I'm reminded of my own solitude. I really miss my best friend. I really miss my partner in my life." The testimony from Neha was originally reported by the San Francisco Chronicle. Last week, we reported on Dharmesh's defense strategy and how the attorneys were arguing that he had suffered from a psychotic break and a major depressive disorder. He had also said he believed his children were going to be sex trafficked, which is being used as evidence that he was suffering from a depressive episode of some kind. Radiologist who drove Tesla off cliff with family inside suffered from psychotic break. Judge Susan Yakubovsky has to determine whether Patel has a mental illness that qualifies for some sort of relief from his crimes and if that contributed to the crime taking place in the first place. A doctor who took the stand in the case said he believed Patel was a good candidate for mental health diversion, which bodes well for his case. Source: reposted and summarized from Joey Klender at Teslarati.